So I guess another thing that we didn't bring up, you are also not only are you a great friend of mine, but you're also a dedicated father and husband, man.
Yeah,
that's sweet, man. So what's the so Frank actually has been helping me out with marriage and engagement advice, and it just gives me some of the things to look out for and watch over. And I definitely appreciate that. I think it's important for me to surround myself with men that are faithful in their marriage if I want to be faithful in my marriage, right? So did you do some of the same things when it came to you getting married? Did you look for men that were doing something that you were doing? Did you look for men that were going in the direction that you were going in order for you to get here?
Definitely. First thing I did was I sought out premarital counseling because I knew that was something that was like, you know, we love each other and we still love each other today. Shout out to my wife Charity, I love you. And we love each other, but let's be real, you're human and you're going two different directions sometimes. You have, you know, you come home from work with a problem, she comes home with a problem, and then you collide. And so you have to know how to resolve those things. And premarital counseling gave us that. Because when you're mad at somebody, that's not the time to try to figure out how to resolve it. You have to already have the system in place to be like, okay, when she's not saying anything, let her cool off, then come back, and then you can re-engage. Or sometimes you gotta let it go at night. I know sometimes people say don't go to bed angry, but unless you want to stay up all night, sometimes you just gotta be like, dear God, please let us both wake up tomorrow. I love her. We just not seeing eye to eye on this. And then a fresh set of eyes, a fresh mind will give you the context to resolve the situation, because it's all spiritual, right? Like, the reason why marriages have so many problems, in my opinion, is because of ministry. And the enemy is looking to discredit your ministry. He's like, oh, look at you. You said you was faithful, but I mean, or you said you was a good man, but look what you did. And so that's to undermine, you know, the power of marriage. You know, a strong marriage, that carries so much weight when you think about it. When you see people who are together, especially in the church, couples that have 30 years of marriage. You know, think about Eric Mitchell yesterday who spoke. He spoke in great authority, not just because he studied word for so long, but also because he's been through a marriage, he's been through raising children, he's been through some things that wasn't on the stage, but manifests itself through a man of God who knows how to have patience and show and have peace in his interaction with people. That doesn't come overnight. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't happen overnight. You know, it takes time, and I'm working on that too. So it's like I'm not sitting up here. I don't want anybody watching to say he thinks he knows everything. I do not. I do not. Every day I'm trying to die to myself to be a better husband, because I know that I'm selfish and I fall short, because that's just the nature of people. That's what sin does. Sin is like, do you, do you. And so we have to not do us. We have to do God, do what he wants us to do. And then you come into alignment, because then as one, when you're both doing God, you can be one. When you're doing yourself, you're never going to align. So that's just my thing. And it's a daily thing, though. It's not like, well, I figured it out and I'm going to walk out of here and everything's going to be good. You could walk home and you don't know what you walk into, because you don't know what she went through. So then you got to say, well, okay, you got to be prepared for everything. Right? Because when you deal with another person, I know people say you don't marry the family, but you do. You marry everything they have. Everything they have, you inherit. And that's a good thing sometimes, and sometimes it's not. But you have to take the good with the bad, because that's part of marriage. That's part of unconditional love. Like, it's not just like, oh, it's like a creative player. Like, I make a woman who has all the attributes I like and none of the ones I don't. You know, that's not a real person. Unconditional love is based on really the things you don't like, and accepting that and living with that, and also that person accepting those things in you. Because although we think we're perfect as men, there's things that we do that our wives to be are going to be like,
I don't like that.
I
can't believe you did this. And so, two things that I got from that, right? First of all, it's definitely a boss move by shouting out your wife, right? I'm taking notes from this. Shout out your wife. Got it. So I got that down. Shout out your wife. And the second thing you mentioned was the importance in growing, right? So the love that comes with you guys getting together and willing to understand her, willing to work with her, and inheriting her stuff just like she inherited your stuff, and you guys growing together, right? It's a definitely daily sacrifice, it sounds like, and it's something that I'm excited to make, right? I think I'm excited, right? I could be in over my head. Who cares, right? Also, so I was having a conversation with one of my brothers yesterday, and he was talking about how, right, sometimes men think that we can build a perfect woman. We can take things from well, I like the way that Sharon did this, and I like the way that Brittany said this, and I like the way that Tiffany you know, Tiffany looked like this, so I want my wife to walk like Tiffany, but I want you to talk like Brittany. And so we try to combine all these things. We become Frankenstein, right? Because of, you know, unfortunately, when a man is impure, he has all these past experiences, and he try to compile them together. So now your wife and your fiance is forced to meet expectations that she don't even, like, she got to compete with people that she has no idea that who they are, and it's impossible to compete with.
You created. She's chasing a ghost, and I know you had a show a couple weeks ago about pornography, and that's part of the dangers of pornography is you start watching a certain type of video, and you get used to a certain type of woman, and then it's like, okay, you start saying, well, why don't you move like this, why don't you like that? It's like, that's not, your wife isn't a paid actress, you know, and she might be tired, so she ain't gonna do that, you know. Just be glad that you guys are together, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many things that we have, and that's also leads to my infidelity in men, is because we put unrealistic expectations on our wife. We say, well, she should do these things, and we've seen a model of these things, especially like when we talk about money as being a show. It's like we've also come to the mindset of, well, if we have money and we bring a certain income in, she should be willing to do certain things, because I bet if I went and made it rain somewhere else, somebody do it. You know what I'm saying? That's why you have to be in a kingdom and know that everything is God's, and then you wouldn't be so arrogant. Because when you start having ownership, then you start feeling like somebody owes you something. And instead of being just thankful that you have a wife, then you would be like, okay, thank you, God, for this wife. Thank you, God, for this marriage. Then your whole mindset is different versus, man, I bring home the bacon. You know, you better, do what I want. I need a meal cooked. You have all these demands because you think you own something. But when you look at the example of Jesus, his demand, he could have made whatever demands he wanted, and he would have been totally right. He would have been in right standing to ask for whatever he wanted, but he didn't. He just said, if you want to follow my teaching, you want to follow my kingdom, seek me, and I'll show you. Seek first the kingdom of God. When I speak, he said he spoke in parables specifically so that people that would really want to follow him would seek his word. He said, because if I speak plainly, I have to save everybody. If I told everybody how good this deal was, I would save everybody. And he's not saying that begrudgingly. He's just saying that I want you to make the choice to follow me. Yes. I want you to make the choice to sacrifice all and give to me. That's the thing of the parable of the rich ruler, or the rich young guy who wouldn't want to sell everything. It wasn't because he was rich. I think sometimes people get confused. It was because that he valued what he had more than following God, and that's what it was. He was burdened with the fact that, I gotta give all this up, all my wealth, all my stuff that makes me the man. And that's how we act too. We say, we have that persona, and that's why a lot of marriages fail. Honestly, like, I'm not saying that's the only reason. I'm not saying that. I'm not a marriage counselor. But what I'm saying is, dying to self is a good way to save your marriage. If you're out there and you got a problem, just dial back whatever you're doing. Whatever you think your wife isn't doing, you dial back what you're doing, just a hair, and see if it doesn't change. Wow.
That's profound right there. You might be a marriage counselor, you don't even know it, right? Die to yourself and it'll help your marriage. It helps your relationships too. A lot of people are having problems with work relationships and family relationships, and it's so interesting. It was like, man, love is not just a feeling. Love is not butterflies, right? I know movies tell you that love is, this feeling that I get in my stomach when I see you. That's how love is. I know I love you when I'm willing to lay down my pride, my ego, myself for you. When I'm willing to serve you when I don't feel like it, right? That's love. Love is the sacrifice that Christ made for us. We talked about this morning, right? The staying power, right? Being whipped, being spit on, and being beaten and staying, right? When Christ stayed on the cross, that was true love, because he had all the power to leave, right? And he has all the power to immediately stop everything from happening, right? So love is exercising your staying power, especially when it comes to men. I know that your home situation may be frustrated. I know that the wife, the kids, but that staying power, that's in your love, right? Love is for the guy that keep coming home when he doesn't feel respected. Love is the guy that keeps fighting, right? It's so easy to leave. Love is the father that stayed, right? God is the father that stayed.